Hello people, right, here we go. Let's get into these post rollout roll call videos. This is the haul video. So obviously I was at rollout roll call this weekend and yep, I bought a few things, or as I said to Dave Mentz on the Sunday evening just before I left, it's a case of what didn't I buy. Yeah, I want to try and keep this brief because, you know, usually when I do a big convention haul video it like drags on for like 40 minutes and I want to try and expedite it slightly, so let's get straight into it. Now, going down to rollout roll call, I had a very specific game plan in mind. Obviously Titans Return stuff has been released, so I was hoping that the majority of Wave 1 Titans Return stuff would be on the stalls and available to buy, and as it happened, most of it was. There's a number of Combiner Wars figures that I didn't have that I wanted to pick up as well. So my basic plan was to go to this convention, fill me boots with Titans Return and Combiner Wars, and then whatever money I've got left, just buy a few extra bits, and then I can go to TF Nation with a blank slate, and I can just go mad and just buy whatever takes my fancy, and not be tied down to having to pick up certain figures. So with that in mind, got there about it was about 9:15. Had to wait till the 10 o'clock opening. Then we went into the dealer room, which was, you know, obviously it's a new venue. It was quite big. The stalls were quite nicely spread out, and all the big players there. You had Kapow, all the cool stuff, Space Bridge, Toy Fu, Phantasma Toys, A1 Toys. There was a whole bunch of, you know, sellers there, you know, doing stuff really good prices. But anyway, Indie Man Toys as well. And speaking of Indie Man Toys, that's where I sort of did a lap around the dealer room, and I sort of figured out where stuff was, and then I thought, right, let's get started. I bought 500 quid cash, and I wanted to split the money up in £250 for each day. That's what I usually do. I usually split my cash in half and then spread it over the 2 days. That kind of went to pot pretty quickly. So I then went around, and I was thinking certain figures from the Titans Return line will sell out pretty quickly. And unbeknownst to me, the people that were there on the Friday evening, they did do a couple of hours of limited trading on the Friday night, and certain figures that were there, Titans Return figures that were there, sold out. I mean, apparently they got hold of Wave 2 of the Titan Masters. All the cool stuff had a small delivery of the Wave 2 Titan Masters, and they got snapped up like that on the Friday night, so there wasn't any available on the Saturday morning. But anyway, so went round to Indie Man Toys, and I got myself Titans Return Rewind. So I picked him up. So he's I started my account for Titans Return with Rewind, and obviously I've got him in his data slug or cassette mode. So he was £10. Then I went over to Kapow, and they had most of the stuff on the store. So I started picking stuff up, and got Titans Return Blurr. I quite like this guy. The engineering on him is really excellent. The transformation's a bit, you know, you have to really think about it if you're doing it from scratch, not doing it on the instructions. It's not obvious the way it transforms, but it is quite clever. It's just a shame that they use this darker blue, this darker plastic. Apparently the Takara one, the adventure one, it was going to be a much lighter shade of blue. But no, I'm really liking this guy. This is a really very good update of the Blurr figure. Then I went for Leader Blaster, one of the boom boxes I picked up this weekend. Yeah, he's quite chunky. Yeah, he's really good. Lots of you know, sort of ratchety goodness on him. Quite soft. It's got the old helmet that goes over the headmaster thing. Yeah, he's all right. Picked him up. Then Skullsmasher or Skullcruncher. Yeah, I'm definitely on for getting one of these. I've got all 4 of the Skullcruncher molds now. I've got the 2 third-party ones, the G1, and now I've got the latest offering. Out of the Titans Return Deluxes I've got, this one's possibly not the best in terms of engineering. I mean, this tail bit that's held on by this stupid peg here, that's not such a great idea. I do like the head though. I do like the fact the head's on a ball joint and it's, you know, super articulated, and when you open his mouth he's got like a moulded tongue inside. Absolutely fantastic. It's got a few issues in robot mode. I mean, mine's got loose hips, loose thigh swivels, and obviously the legs don't peg together quite properly, and he hasn't got much in the way of heel spurs, so he likes to fall over. But it's Skull Cruncher or Skull Smasher, so I can forgive it its foibles, and yeah, well happy to get hold of him. Then I got Scourge. I'm pretty sure this is the first Scourge in my collection. I haven't got any Scourges, so yeah, glad I got hold of the flying shoe. And now, Sentinel Prime. Now, this figure is the Wave 1, one of the Wave 1 Voyagers, along with Galvatron, who wasn't at the show. Nobody bought one along. Don't know why, but there wasn't any available on the Saturday. But never mind, I'll pick this guy up. I was going to get this guy. Now, a lot of people, this guy for Wave 2 is getting repainted as Astro Train, and I think a lot of people are going to prefer to go for that version. But to be honest, I've already got an Astro Train. I've got Evil Star, and he's all the Astro Train I can ever need. So I wanted to go for this guy. He's moulded in orange plastic. I love orange as a colour, and this floats my boat. So got hold of Sentinel Prime. Now, then it was a case of I said to the guys at Kapow Toys, right, Fort Max me. And so they got a Fort Max down. They had loads of them. They had about 2 dozen, maybe 30 Fort Maxes there. They were doing them for 150 quid, which was, in my opinion, a brilliant price. There was another A1 Toys had the convention exclusive one, the Comic-Con one with the Master Sword, and you could pre-order it for, what was it, 159.99. So for an extra 10 quid, you could get the convention exclusive. But I didn't go for that. I just wanted a Fort Max straight away. Thing was, I bought 250 quid out with me, and because I bought that lot, which came to well over 100 quid, I didn't have enough cash in my pocket to buy Max, so I had to go back to the car and get a bit break into my Sunday money. And yeah, I got the big boy. I got Fort Max. Put the decals on him yesterday. He's all right. I'm not too happy with the way the head pegs in. He's got. I'll put the batteries in. Probably can't hear it. Anyway, he's there. I've got him. On the floor. So yeah, I got the big Kahuna. Now the biggest transforming toy that I own. So that kind of messed up my finances a bit. And little did I know, as I walked around, what I was going to get in for next. So I walked around the other side, started looking around, because I thought, right, I'm pretty much spent for today. I don't want to spend any more money. And then I went round the far side, and I got to, was it Phantasma Toys and Trade, or what they're called? A couple of little guys on the corner stall. Loads of weird ass Japanesey stuff, like Kamen Rider, Power Rangers and all that stuff. And on the top of the stall, Webdivers. They had Webdivers figures, including the big boy, Gladion. Well, basically, I saw this box and I thought, oh my god, they've got Gladion. And I thought I'd be cheeky and ask him how much it was. And the guy says, oh, it's only 60 quid. And I thought, 60 quid? That thing goes for like 250 quid online. So yeah, he was in robot mode. I've transformed him back into his train mode. Very, very scary to transform this guy, because you can probably see his entire... I mean, look, he's made out of transparent plastic. And there's these big hinge joints where on his shoulders, and I've been warned that they are prone to cracking and breaking, and when I transformed it, their joints were very tight, and it's gonna bust. So I transformed it into train mode, and it's gonna stay like this for a while. But I've got him. I've got the main man from Webdivers. The guys on the store were trying their damnedest to get me to buy some of the others, especially Dragwan, the big blue truck that turns into a dragon. It's got like the biggest wingspan of any transforming toy ever made. I was kind of tempted, but I thought, well, these guys are going to be at TF Nation. If it's still available at TF Nation, I might be tempted to pick it up then. But I was on a mission to get other things. But I've got Gladion. Look. Oh, I couldn't believe that. Right. So I was pretty flush after that. I thought, well, I've got most of the Titans Return stuff, and I've got a big ass, Webdivers figure. I've overspent my budget for the day. Let's reel it in a bit. But yeah, there was a couple of things that I saw later on that tickled my fancy. One of them, off the Toy Foo stand, Fall of Cybertron Thundercracker. Now, I've been after this guy for a while. I've kind of got a thing for Thundercracker now. I quite like Thundercracker, and I want to collect a few different Thundercracker molds. I've got the Starscream one of this mould in the Tom Henson bot lot, and I was going to keep that, but now that I've got this, I'm not so sure. But yeah, I've got Thundercracker. It was 25 quid, which is a bit much for a deluxe, but this guy was kind of a Japanese exclusive. He was in a kind of an exclusive figure, and in certain territories, and yeah, he does go for a premium because of that. There was somebody selling a minting box one for 30 quid, so I was happy to pay 25 quid for that. So I finally got me a Fall of Cybertron Thundercracker. Super happy with that. And then I sort of wound it down. I just rolled around, and just did things. I think I went and sat in a panel. The Few and Smizno, Have I Got Few for You? Sat in that panel. And then later on, I was walking around and chatting to my mates on the Dave's Corner and Me and Max Got Toys stalls. Because I know James Lai from Me and Max Love Toys, and he's a mate of Dave's, and I was talking to them and looking on Dave's stall late in the day, and I saw something. I thought, I've been after one of those, and the price was just right. Geneartions Deluxe Warpath. Oh my god. I'm not joking. This, to me, is probably the best bot I picked up all weekend. In fact, when I started playing with this and saw how the transformation works, the way the tracks fold out into his arms and legs, and the head thing, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how amazing this thing is. And TF16 of 2016, baby. I've really been struggling with my TF16 of 2016 list. I've only got like 4 bots on it, but straight in on the list, top bot of the year. Probably the best bot I picked up all weekend. I am just over the moon with this thing. It's absolutely amazing. So thanks to Dave for that, if you're watching. So that was Saturday done. I'm going to go into what actually happened, my experience of the weekend in my reflections video. So this is just about the haul. So moving on to Sunday morning. Now, I'd seen a few things on the Saturday, and I thought, right, yeah, I was sort of picking out targets to go for. Still had the Combiner War stuff that I wanted to get. So I'd seen a few people selling stuff, and I thought, right, if I could do this, and this, and I basically planned out my Sunday. I only had about 200 quid left. Actually, Gladion, I bought him on the card. So I'm already like 60 quid up on the 500 quid that I spent. Anyway, so I had it in mind, a bunch of stuff I was going to buy. And I'd seen a couple of figures on the Kapow stand. And as soon as the trading opened on Sunday morning, I went straight over to Kapow. And I bought these two. RID, Scorponok and Windblade, and obviously I realised that nobody had reviewed them on YouTube, so I thought I'm going to buy those and be the first person on YouTube to review them. So I did, I reviewed them. So picked up those guys. Then it was round to, let's have a look at my list. Yeah, went to Indie Man Toys and got hold of Lynx. Now I've sort of got him in the fans Lynx mode, or I tried to get it into something like that. I bought this. It's kind of interesting. It sort of transforms into a dragon, and I got a thing for transforming dragons at the moment. And I wouldn't have bought this if it hadn't been for the fact that you can kind of get this guy into a fan Lynx mode. So that just swung it for me. So I've picked up Combiner Wars Sky Lynx. And then it was basically this. Now, forget Onslaught because I already had Onslaught. Basically, it's all the limbs. So, Swindle, Brawl, Vortex, and Blast Off. Pick them up. They varied in price. Some of them were 16 quid, some of them were 18 quid. I couldn't quite get that. I mean, yes, they were the American versions. They came with the comics, so I can understand them being a little bit more expensive. But I finally got a complete Decepticon Combiner Wars Gestalt. I still need to get Breakdown and Dead End to finish my Menasor, so that's something I'll be looking at TF Nation. But finally completed Bruticus. Right, and then another figure I picked up at the In Demand was Little Legends Wreck-Gar. Now, it seemed like this was the only one they had left. 15 quid they were doing this for, and yet I picked up this guy for them the day before, and it was 12 quid, and they'd marked it down to 10 quid, and I can't understand that. And this was the only one they had on the stall as well. Some unusual pricing going on there, but I wanted to get this guy because I think this guy works so much better as Wreck-Gar rather than Groove. I just think that this mould just works better as Wreck-Gar, so I wanted to get one. Could have got it cheaper, but wow, it was there. I had the money. I bought it. Then, right. Then I went to A1 Toys. Now, A1 Toys, they only had a small stall. They had a couple of the Platinum box sets, and they had the display of the convention exclusive Fort Max, and they also had that other set that's got Windblade, a renamed Brainstorm, and Sentinel Prime in it. I can't remember what they called it. Just showing them off. But they were selling some packs, and they were selling the Autobot Intel Ops pack. And I've been sort of thinking of buying it, but the prices, I mean, it used to be 100 quid in Toys R Us, and they reduced it to 75, and I've seen people flogging it online for about, say, 45 quid with about 15 quid shipping, so you could probably get it for around about 60 quid. 40 quid they were doing this for. So I got Blaster, I got another boombox, got G1 Blaster. And we got Steeljaw, Ramhorn, Eject. Now, Eject, according to my numbering system, this is bot 500. So this is my 5th centenary bot. When I jotted up the numbers and put it onto my list, this guy came out as bot 500. And of course, I picked up a G1 Perceptor. And that pack is amazing. You get all those accessories with it, you get all the parts, plus you get all the extra bits for Perceptor, like those little slidey things you can actually see through the viewfinder. Those, yeah, 40 quid. Couldn't go wrong. I mean, I would show you the box, but it's on a pile of other boxes on the floor. If I try to get it out, it's just going to fall over. So, yeah, so well happy to pick that up at that price. That was a no-brainer for me. So, just moving along now, sort of running on the last couple of dregs of money. Then I went over to Dave's Corner, and there was a figure I'd seen the day before, and I'd been eyeing it up and thinking, wow, I might be able to do a custom job with that. Henkei Cosmos. Now, this is one of the Japanese mini Autobot rehashes that they did. Now, there's that Computron, Combiner Wars Computron that's coming out, the Hasbro one, and they've got a repainted Cosmos with it that's done up as Scourge. Now, when I saw that, I thought, Yes, we finally got a Scourge figure. Because I remember Scourge from the G1 comic days, and he didn't last very long. He got killed. No, he only lasted a couple of issues before he got killed off. I've got a fan comic I picked up from Auto Assembly last year, where somebody did a, I think it was it Liam Shalhoub did it, a fan comic. I think it was him. With it was called Rat Trap, but it had Scourge in it as well, and I thought that was amazing to see Scourge. But the Cosmos mould, great as it is for doing a Scourge homage, it's still a spaceship. It's a flying saucer. And Scourge, in the G1 comic, transformed into a wheel. Now this thing is more wheel-like. It's almost perfectly round. And apart from the fact it's got this fin sticking off the back, it's, you know, it would make a perfect starting point for a custom G1 Scourge, and that's probably what I'm going to do with this. That's my plan. I'm going to hopefully, if I can get off my arse and do this custom. I mean, I keep saying I'm going to do this, that and the other custom, and I never actually get around to doing them, but this one is quite easy. You just got to do a little bit of trimming here and there, a little bit of sanding and moulding, and then blather some paint on it, do something with the head sculpt to give him that sort of traffic cone sort of head sculpt that he's got. Yeah, and that's what I bought that for. And well happy with that. Right, then then I been eyeing up a bot on James's stall, James Lai, the Me and Max Love Toys. I'll show you the box. This thing. BTS 04 Sonicron, the only third party figure I picked up all weekend. 15 quid. Now, he basically was palming this thing off. He'd been, even though now that I've opened it, it seemed like it was sealed and unopened, and it probably was. But I'd been warned that this thing was riddled with QC issues, and but that didn't bother me. I mean, James was deriding this thing like something crazy, and I just felt sorry for it. So I thought, I know, I'm going to buy it. It's fairly cheap, and for novelty value alone, it's worth picking up, in my opinion, because it's kind of a rare thing. They didn't make many of these. Yes, it's probably down as probably one of the worst third-party figures ever made, but I don't mind. So I was, strange enough, it was the last bot. I've only just literally this afternoon finished playing with these bots. Most of them were still sealed until a couple of hours ago when I got the last couple out and messed around with them, and this was the last guy I played with. And I managed to get him into his dictaphone mode with a bit of a fight. There's that there doesn't want to clip in. I had to sort of file down a few pegs and shave a few bits off to get it to go together, and it was a bit of a challenge, but yeah, I don't mind buying this. It's alright, and you can fit the G1 cassettes in it, even though this one, it comes with cardboard cutouts on the back. So yeah, I bought that. Novelty value if nothing else. I know how bad it is. It's an awful piece of crap, but I don't care. I bought it, it's mine, it's in my collection. So, right, getting down to the last sort of dregs of money. I actually went down to the cash machine and bought some more, got some more money out of the cash machine, an extra 50 quid, because I think it was to buy this, because I was a bit, was it this? I was a bit short anyway. So, went down, got some more money out, came back up, and did the last couple of bits. There was a Generations drift that someone had on their stall, but it had the aftermarket sword upgrade, and they wanted like 40 quid for it, and I was after a Generations drift. Now I was up for buying it, and then when I went to his store, it had gone. So I went around and went back to Dave's store, and he had Generations Scout Class Wind Charger for a tenner, so I thought, yep, I'll have some of that. So I bought him. Then I went to Jim and Rob's stall, A couple of guys had a variety of different bits, and they had G1 Snarl, and I think I had Sludge as well. I'm still short a couple of G1 Dinobots. I've got 3 now. I've got Grimlock, I've got a knockoff reissue Swoop, and now I've got Snarl, so I just need to get Slag and Sludge, and I'll have a full set. So picked him up. And then the last couple of bits off the Toy Foo. Brimstone. It's one of the was it the Revenge of the Fallen little scout class things that are absolutely amazing, and it's a bike former, and I like me bike formers, and this guy's quite interesting, so I picked him. And then it was literally, I was down to my last quid, and I've been wandering around and around and around, and I saw that Toy Foo had a couple of mini-cons on the end of their table for £1, and I've been eyeing up this guy, and I thought, it's a fully functioning digger. I mean, look, it's got a bucket on the front. It's got a backhoe that rotates from side to side. You know, it's a fully functioning digger, JCB. And then I tried to find out what this thing was called, and I just couldn't. I was going through, you know, pictures on my phone, on an app on my phone, trying to find out what this thing was, and I found pictures of repaints of it, but not this particular colour, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it wasn't until last night when I tried again, and I tried a different search. I tried like multi-packs, and I found a multi-pack with this guy in. Now, bear in mind, this is one of the smallest transforming toys that I've bought. It's got one of the longest names I've ever seen on a Transformer, and it is called Universe Armada Series Landslide Minicon Team Backstop. Yeah, so it's one of the smallest Transformers, and it's got one of the longest names I've ever seen applied to a Transformer. But yeah, that was like the last quid I had in my pocket, so I bought that. And that is that. How much did I spend? Well, I spent over 600 quid in the end. Well, something like 630 quid all up. That was way over the £500 I took with me. So yeah, as you can see, I had a mammoth haul, and it was a great event. And yeah, I'm well happy with what I got. I mostly achieved my aim of picking up Titan's Return and Combiner Wars. There's a couple of figures I missed out on, which I can hopefully pick up at TF Nation, but all being said, it was a great haul. I got a great bunch of stuff, and this is my haul video from Roll Out Roll Call. I hope you've been entertained, and I will see you next time when I do my reflections video, which I might record tonight. I don't know, we'll see, but hopefully I'll be posting up the next couple of days. So yeah, see you all next time. Bye bye.